What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Game of the Day. Today we'll be breaking down all of the action that happened on day 2 of the group stage of Worlds 2020. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. But beware, there's spoilers ahead, so don't say you haven't been warned. First, let's talk about Group B. Yesterday, Damwon Gaming was able to destroy JDG, what was believed to be one of the other best teams in the world. And Rogue stormed PSG Talon for their first win of this tournament. Today, both teams that went 1-0 yesterday matched up, and Damwon Gaming brought out the Lulu in the top lane for Nuguri. Nuguri is known as one of the best top laners in the world, and usually plays lane dominant champion or late game scaling champion. He's not a player who brings out the Ornn or other tanky picks often. He's more of a Camille player. Last year we saw him on the Vladimir with the Kleptomancy, looking to outscale the entire enemy team. But today he brought out the Lulu, and he took kind of the lane bully matchup, of course, into the Gangplank. But later on into the game, he looked to support the Graves, the Sylas, and the Ashe on his team. As I already mentioned, yesterday Damwon Gaming were able to destroy their opposition in JDG, but today they had to take a lot slower approach. They still got advantages in the early game, especially Canyon on the Graves with a level 2 dive onto Finn's GP, got them ahead early. But as you can see at the 30-minute mark, they're only 5k up, which is a lead, yes, but not the most impactful lead anymore. And Rogue were able to stop the snowballing from Damwon Gaming, where even JDG yesterday weren't able to. At this point, Damwon Gaming is on Soul Point, and they are looking to secure the Baron. And what we're going to see play out here is basically the straw that broke the camel's back. Larssen gets caught out a little bit too over-aggressive. The Taric ult doesn't come out in time. And this one kill allows Damwon to take the Baron, transition that into the Mountain Soul, and close out the game from there. Rogue showed a lot of resilience in this game. They were behind from the earliest minutes of this game. And Damwon Gaming showed that they can not only win when able to snowball a game, but when the other team holds against their snowball beautifully, they can play out the game slowly, methodically, take objectives, and win the game that way. The other matchup in Group B was much less close. It was JDG taking on PSG Talon, and JDG came back from their defeat yesterday with a clear victory over the PCS representative. Especially Zoom in the top lane was able to win his lane decisively and transfer his lead to the rest of the map. And in the end it was a bloodbath and a dominating win for JDG, who are favorites to make it out of this group alongside Damwon Gaming. And after their loss yesterday, they are now 1-1 and will match up against Rogue next. Next up, we have Group D and the matchup of Gen G versus TSM. In this game, Bjergsen brought out his patented Zilean pick in mid lane, and Spica found himself on the Nidalee once again. What we're gonna watch here is the game deciding moment. TSM actually come in 5-2 up in kills, but down in gold with Gen G on Soul Point, and TSM actually misread the situation entirely, try to engage a fight, and it results in 4 of TSM's players going down and just gifting over the Baron to Gen G. And this is basically what decided the game in the favor of Gen G. With the Baron buff, Gen G rolled into TSM space, didn't even bother to complete their Mountain Soul, and just took down the Nexus instead. The other matchup in this group was LGD versus Fnatic, and once again LGD were able to secure a lot of comfort picks for their players, especially the Ornn for Langxing and the Kindred for Peanut stand out to me. On the other side, Selfmade brought out the Smite Ignite Graves, and Bwipo was kind of the main player to me on Fnatic's side. He engaged a lot of the fights on the set top lane. He was the front line for Fnatic, but he was also a lot of the main damage for them. And once again, we're going to watch the game-deciding play, and it was Xie on the Echo getting into Fnatic's backline when both teams were fighting for the Infernal Dragon. You can see that LGD secured their Infernal Soul here, so that's why Fnatic basically had to fight them there, but it was a pretty uncoordinated fight for them. Bwipo set ulting Langxing's Ornn away from the second charge of his ultimate, but that engage pulled Fnatic's backline forward, and Xie got a perfect flank off. And with these couple of kills that they were able to secure with his ace, in fact, LGD with the Infernal Soul in the back pocket as well, they were able to close out this game and go 1-1 after dropping to Gen G yesterday. And that finally brings us to Group A, the last group that we haven't seen any matches from yet. And the first matchup is between Team Liquid, the third seed from NA, against Machi, the champions of the PCS. Team Liquid drafted a team that has a lot of comfort. We've seen Impact on the Mordekaiser multiple times. We saw him destroying play and stage with it. We see Broxah on the Graves, which is one of his two comfort picks alongside the Lee Sin. We see the Orianna in mid lane and the Kate Lux bottom lane, all very standard, but to me a little bit disjointed, not a lot of team fighting strength going on here, but a lot of strong lanes for Team Liquid. On the other side, Machi have secured the Ornn top lane, the Volibear mid jungle, and the Syndra mid lane, all comfort picks for their champions, for their players. And together with the Ezreal Karma in bottom lane, this is a very strong front of back team fighting 5v5 team composition. And especially with the Karma speeding up all these champions, giving them shielding, the front line will barely take any damage. The back line is very mobile. And yeah, it's going to be rough for Team Liquid to navigate team fights around these neutral objectives. They either need to get ahead, as the bot lane here is, with a solo kill in the first 3 minutes, or they need to get Impact into a position where he can ult Gemini, the jungler for Machi, and take him out of these neutral objective battles and deny him the smite. Team Liquid weren't able to do so. We see that Machi are roughly 5k gold ahead. They have secured the Cloud Soul for themselves, and especially Mission in the mid lane has done a phenomenal job on this Syndra, farming up to almost 400 CS at 35 minutes into the game. And with this lead, he can gatekeep Impact from ever entering these Dragon Pits, these Baron Pits, and making it impossible for him to ult the premium target of Gemini, the jungler for Machi. With this Baron, Machi were able to roll into Team Liquid's base, catch out Jensen for what felt like the fifth time, only was the third time this game, and finish the game from here. That leaves only one game to be game of the day, and it's G2 versus Suning, the LEC champions versus the third seed coming out of China. G2 drafted a team composition that had a lot of global presence, the Twisted Fate in the mid lane, and the roaming support of Bard in the bot lane. I think the game plan for G2 was to unlock Caps in the mid lane with Jankos with the help of Mikyx roaming from the bot lane, and then unlocking the map with Caps on the Twisted Fate. On the other side, we see Suning with A weaker version of a front-to-back teamfighting composition, in my opinion. Renekton and Lee Sin want to get in that back line and create a lot of chaos with the Nautilus as well for the Syndra and the Ashe to be able to dish out the damage. But I think there's better champions in the meta right now that allow you to do this job better. SOFM, of course, he's known for his Lee Sin. He's has a unique playing style on it where he goes warrior and then goes tanky / defensive with the Knight's Vow and other tank items. What we see play out in this game is a lot of team fighting or skirmishing around neutral objectives. We can see the first instance of this playing out around this Ocean Dragon spawn. It's the first Ocean Dragon, the third dragon in this game overall, and Suning were able to secure the first two dragons in this game, while G2 were more focused on the heralds, on farming, on taking turrets. Both teams are now grouping for this dragon contest, and Perkz is actually gonna get caught out here by Sword Art's Nautilus with his flash and his E available, and it's gonna cost both him and his top laner Wunder their lives. This should mean Ocean Dragon for Suning, and with 3 dragons in their back pocket, that would mean that every dragon spawning going forward would mean Ocean Soul for them. Crucially, Jankos is going to be able to get in this brush at the back of Dragon Pit unseen. It's not warded by Suning, and he trades his life for the Ocean Drake. That's very much worth it for G2. It means that they aren't forced into contesting every single Drake that spawns from here on, because they can't afford to give the Ocean Soul over to Suning. Next up, we're going to see a play that Caps is going to do throughout the rest of this game. He goes top lane to push out the wave shortly before the next dragon spawns. He then activates his ultimate to spot out where Suning is on the map and uses that information to push out the top lane into Suning, forcing Angel to come top and respond. Caps then instantly TPs back into the mid lane, and this gives G2 the priority around Dragon, and they can move into the river to clear out vision and establish their own. Angel went top to clear out the wave that Caps just pushed into them, and then also TPs in the mid, but it's just all a little bit later than Caps, giving the tempo advantage to G2. Sword Art on the Nautilus is gonna get caught out a little bit here, but then we're gonna see some beautiful plays from SOFM on the Lee Sin, and it's gonna be Suning winning out the skirmish overall and taking this next Ocean Dragon. We're gonna see the exact same play from Caps again. He goes top to push out the wave, drawing Angel up into the top lane, and then TPs right back into mid, giving once again the tempo advantage to G2. Angel, we can see right now, is in that top lane clearing the wave, and he's actually gonna walk back down this time because there's still 40 seconds until that dragon spawns. So G2 are actually not successful in forcing out his TP this time. Instead, we see Bin with a beautiful flank on the Renekton into G2's backline, and they instantly lose Jankos, their jungler. So at 31 minutes into the game, Suning are able to take down the Ocean Soul, and after the Infernal Soul, this is the second best Dragon Soul into the game, and a big win condition for Suning. But they wouldn't be G2 if they didn't have another ace up their sleeve. This is a very creative team, and they find a beautiful team fight around this Elder Dragon, with Wunder getting into the backline of Suning, leaving Perkz on the Ezreal open to dance around this Dragon Pit and really dish out the DPS. And this helps G2 secure the Elder Dragon, which in turn helps them close out this game. With Elder, G2 are able to secure the Baron as well, which is the most potent buff combination you can have in this game. and it gets them a bit overconfident, and they try to end the game right here. And Suning are able to turn this one around against Baron and the Elder Drake and take a teamfight win in their own base. From here, Suning try to turn it right around, going into G2 space and threatening to finish the game in their favor. But a beautiful ult out of Mikyx's Bard keeps their Nexus turrets alive, and G2 are able to hang on by the thinnest of margins, take the team fight in their own base this time, and wipe the board clean, take the game, take the win. This was, in my opinion, the best game of day 2 of the group stage of Worlds 2020. It wasn't a clean game by any means. G2 first threw in Suning space, then Suning tried to barrel down the mid lane and actually end up throwing the game in G2 space. But it was the most entertaining, the most back and forth game of this day. And so if you enjoyed this video, feel free to comment, like, share, and especially to discuss this one with me in the comments or on Twitter. Thanks for watching.